Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm back on the pod. It's been month and a half hiatus, something like that. But I have time now. I've figured out my schedule more. Gonna be coming out with weekly episodes, especially since college football coming up upon us. Can do lots of predictions, all sorts of previews of conferences, all sorts of that stuff. Till then, however, can I go full screen? I want to go full screen. Um, we're going to be doing an NBA mock draft. This is going to be my last mock draft before the 25th, I want to say. I want to say it's 2 weeks from Wednesday, maybe a little less than that. Maybe it's a week from Wednesday. It's a week from Wednesday. Um, I'm recording this on Friday the 13th. Ugh. But this is going to be my mock draft. I don't think I'm going to do any more after this. This is going to be the main one. This is going to be a quick little thing. Not quick. This will be 20, 30 minutes. But let's jump right in. This is with the NBA. Obviously, it's with their order. I'm not going to do trades, any sorts of that stuff. I think that's too hard to predict. So I'm just going to do the NBA's order. I'm not going to do any trades. I'm just going to do what I think would happen if there's no trades. There will probably be trades, especially in a class like this. I think there could be. But if there isn't, this is how I can go because trades are too hard to predict. With the first pick, the scam of the draft, the Dallas Mavericks ridiculously getting the number one overall pick, trading Luca and getting the number one overall pick, whatever. They're taking Cooper Flag. Yeah, it's the easy pick. Cooper Flag is by far the best player in this draft class. Generational type prospect. Instantly, I can't snap. Instantly, Dallas is back to a contender. Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, obviously injured, but Derek Lively, Cooper Flag. It's a phenomenal group. You put Flag in there, that's your franchise player. They somehow got the better end of the Luca trade. I don't know how that's possible, but in my opinion, they did. But they're taking Cooper Flag. It's the easiest pick of the draft. Next easiest is the second pick. It's the San Antonio Spurs. They're taking Dylan Harper, the shooting guard out of Rutgers. Now, Harper is easily the best guard in this draft class. Struggles with athleticism, but overall, he's a great scorer. He can facilitate very well. What exactly this team needed was another great guard. Obviously, Chris Paul, I think he's gone after this year. I'm assuming he was on either a 1 year deal or he's going to be traded, something like that. He's 38 though. You add Dylan Harper and De'Aaron Fox in the backcourt with Victor Wembanyama at the center. It's a fantastic group. I do think it's possible that this pick is shipped out to some superstar. You never know, a Giannis type thing. That feels unrealistic. Maybe Kevin Durant. I'll throw his name in there too. But this pick, if they stick with it, by far makes the most sense. You get another facilitator to go alongside your four. You get your young. You now have a young core of Harper at the one, Castle at the three, two, whatever you want to call him, and Wemby at the four, five. Um, that's the cornerstone of your franchise. The Spurs are the luckiest franchise ever. Anyways, moving on. Here we go. It starts to get a little more complicated after this because I could see Ace Bailey very much going here. However, his draft measurables are concerning. You see this right here? It says 6'10". He's not 6'10", he's 6'7". They lied. He's like 6'7" and a half or something like that. They lied a whole like 3 inches on his height at Rutgers. While I don't think that should really affect his draft stock that much, 3 inches is a big difference. Pause. But I think he was billed as this 6'10" score at all levels guy. A 6'7" score at all levels guy. It's still a great player. It's not the same thing whatsoever. I think he's going to drop. I think that the 76ers go with VJ Edgecombe. Uh, the most athletic player in this draft class. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. One of at least. Great physical player, scores inside, can score outside decently. Tough role at Baylor this year. They weren't fantastic. Feel bad for Scott Drew, fantastic coach. But I think that the Sixers go with him, pair him alongside Tyrese Maxey. Embiid, the process failed. The Sixers don't deserve this pick. They should have, in my opinion, they should have been left out of the top five. Give that pick to I don't want it to go to the Thunder. I don't want it to go to anyone. Um, Edgecombe, I think him and Maxey are a great backcourt. There's not really a true point guard around this level is the thing, unless somehow Dylan Harper were to fall, which he won't. Then I could see him going to the Sixers, but there's not a true point guard. I think you go with a shooting guard, pair him alongside Maxey, great solid young backcourt. Maxey's still decently young. He's like 24, 25. Um, the Hornets. Now, another interesting one. Another team that kind of needs a point guard, kind of needs a forward, kind of needs a center. I could see them. There's a couple ways I could see them going with this. Where's Come on Malawach? There he is. I could see them going Malawach at four, excuse me. I think he's a great young prospect. I think he is probably the most potential of anyone. Second most. I'll put Flag in front of him. Second most potential of anyone here. It's a little crazy. Um, can shoot. He showed the flashes of literally doing everything. Struggled to score the ball at times. Definitely not the most physical player. Could put him alongside Mark Williams though, and that could be helpful. I could also see an Ace Bailey, but they did just draft Brandon Miller, so tough. Another one you can see, Trey Johnson, best scorer in this draft class by far, easily. Can score all three levels, shoots the ball extremely well, averaged 20 as a freshman, leading his team in Texas. They didn't make, they technically, they were first four in team, or last four in, excuse me, team, but he struggled at times when his team needed him to step up. Like there's a game where I saw he shot 1 for 15 in the SEC tournament, if I'm not mistaken. But Trey Johnson, Ace Bailey. I think it's between for Charlotte. I think it's between Ace Bailey, Trey Johnson, and Kaman Malawach. Malawach. I could also see Derek Queen, but I don't really think so. Trey Johnson. I think Trey Johnson is the best scorer. You put him alongside LaMelo Ball. You already have Miles Bridges. Fuck that guy. Miles. You already have Miles Bridges though, because the NBA won't punish him whatever. You also have Brandon Miller, and then you get LaMelo Ball, who he pretty much runs the point guard anyways. You get a great scorer, bona fide scorer in Trey Johnson. Solid young backcourt going forward. I think you go Trey Johnson here. Jazz, another team that severely needs a point guard, as you can see highlighted on here. Um, Isaiah Collier was decent for them. Shout out USC. Broke a ton of rookie assist records, which is shocking because of, John Stockton. I don't think they go a point guard here. I think they kind of need everything else, and I think this is where Ace Bailey's slip stops. Um, I think that you just get a great forward. I think it's possible that they ship out Lauri Markkanen. I know that the Blazers are not in talks, but they get mocked. He gets mocked to Portland all the time. So I'd say Ace Bailey goes here. You get another forward. Obviously, the Jazz need a lot. It's not. It's gonna be a couple years before their Jazz are any good. So I think you get a solid player in Bailey. Scores the ball well, rebounds the ball well. Lanky, long player, not very physical, but great mid-range. Can pull up, can score pretty well at all three levels. I take Ace Bailey here. I think he would be the best available player in that circumstance. The Washington Wizards. I would go. Come on, Malawach here. I think, as I mentioned, one of the highest potential guys in this entire draft class. Now, you're probably thinking, but they just drafted Alex Sarr, number, was he two? Yeah, number two last year. I think of Sarr more as a power forward, and I think Malawat can play that five a little better. Then you have this like twin towers right there, 7-1, 7-2, long, lanky guys, block shots, get rebounds. I think if Malawat, I think if his scoring output can grow, then I think he'll be 10 times the player he was in college. Because he was good in college. He wasn't phenomenal, though. He was good and he just showed the flashes. That's why he's mocked so high. That's why he's such a high prospect. I'd take him at six for sure. Seven. Who do the Pelicans go with? Couple ways they can go here. I think they either go Jeremiah Fears. I don't know why he's 11. Or they go Derek Queen here. Either are good picks. I've seen Queen mocked a little bit lower than what I would have had him at. He struggles athletically a little bit, but he's still a fantastic player, great IQ, hits a bit, he's a big game player. Showed tiny little bit of flashes from the three-point line. Rebounds so well though for a guy his size. He could easily play that 4 or 5 position. Put him along Zion. It would be a little small, but Zion at the four, Queen at the five. And then you look at Fears. CJ McCollum is coming up near retirement age. He's kind of their best guard right now. They also have DeJounte Murray and Bruce Brown, as I'm looking at it right now. Um, Murray, did he tear his ACL? I think he may have. I'm a little behind on that, but I think he may have torn his ACL. So I don't know if you risk going forward with him as your point guard. I don't know if I did that. I would go Jeremiah Fierce here. I think he's the safest prospect in this class. Young, all these guys are young, but young great guard really showed that he can. I keep saying score at all levels, and I know I'm repeating myself. A lot of these guys are just great scorers. Can score, can facilitate, fine defender. I think he's a great NBA point guard. I'd put him my personal big board. I'd probably put him fifth, third, maybe third. I put him third. I'd put him third. I think it's Flag, Bailey, and then him, Fears. I think, Malawach and Bailey, or I mean Harper, excuse me. I think Bailey and Malawach are good. I keep forgetting his name. Jeremiah Fears is better. I'd go with him at seven. I think the Pelicans get a solid point guard, someone who can help space the floor a little bit more for Zion, because Derek Queen can't really space the floor all that well. Of course, there is reports of Zion getting traded, although he was just sued over sexual assault. So fuck him too, maybe. We'll see about that. Um, but we'll see where if that goes anywhere. I don't know. Yeah, who knows where that'll go. The Brooklyn Nets. Uh, take John Con Knippel. Great guy. This is one of those prospects. I think he's the best shooter in this class. People argue Igor Demon. I disagree. Knippel's a great shooter. It's the stereotype for white guys, but sneaky, athletic. It's just one of those guys where he has that like mentality, that dog in him that I would love to have him on my team. I think the Brooklyn Nets, obviously, you have guys like Cam Thomas around there. Cam Johnson, another guy who gets tossed around in trade rumors every single offseason. I don't think he will, though. The Nets have like a million picks going forward, because they got let's see, they got five from the Knicks, and I want to say they have some from Milwaukee. I might be mistaken. They have a couple other picks from other teams. They have a lot of future potential going forward. I think Knippel's a great starter for that. He's not an A1 guy. He's not going to be your best player. Definitely could see him playing a Klay Thompson type of role. I'm not comparing him to Klay Thompson, but he could play that role where he's the two. He's the second best player on the team who will provide that phenomenal outside scoring, which you so desperately need in the NBA. Give me Colin Knippel. Raptors at nine. This is where Derek Queen goes. Love Derek Queen. I've seen a lot of mocks of him dropping recently. I disagree with it. I think he's phenomenal. Great rebounder, great scorer. He led the Crab Five in scoring, if I'm not mistaken, as a true freshman for a team that had so many juniors, sophomores, seniors on the team. And he was arguably one of the best centers in college basketball last year. Phenomenal player. Another guy who just has that dog in him. He hits big shots. He scores when his team needs. He's not afraid of the moment. You think back to Colorado State. He hits that tough shot to send them to the Sweet 16 where he told Kevin Willard, "Give me the ball. I want the ball." To do that as a 19-year-old freshman, it's massive. I would love for this guy to be on Portland. There's some people who I think disagree with that because obviously we drafted Klingon last year. I'm going Derek Queen for sure. All right. Raptors at 10. I've seen Jack Usionis. I don't know. I don't know how to say his name. Rockets obviously get this pick from the Suns. Um, Tough, a lot of places to go with this. I think it's possible they go with a guard. I don't think Jalen Green is the future. He's not progressing really in any way over the course of his it's 3, 4 year career now, especially when you compare that to the guys drafted around him, Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham. They have been phenomenal. I'll even throw in what's his name? Um Mo Wagner. Oh, wait, Franz Wagner. Sorry, not Mo. Franz Wagner. I think they're fantastic players. I think that 2020 class, no, 21, excuse me, incredibly good, underrated class. I don't think Jalen Green is progressing that much. If I don't think he would be, but I think if Jeremiah Fears was available, they take him here. Carter Bryant's an interesting one. I think Asa Newell, Jace Richardson, all interesting guys. I think you take Jack Usionis. Um, this guy, a little opposite of Queen, he did not always step up when the Illini needed him. He was a good player, not fantastic when they needed him. You think the NCAA tournament, he wasn't great. It was where is he? He's on here somewhere. Will Riley, thank you. Will Riley really stepped up to send them to the second round against Kentucky, and then they got waxed by the Wildcats, if I'm remembering correctly. But I'd take him there. I think he's a solid player. That big guard potential, 6'6", close to 6'7", I want to say. Great player. I should have held on to him for longer. All right, the Blazers. Obviously, my team. Where's the flag? The flag is over there. It's behind Sports Center. Um, I would probably go here. If you're in this situation, I've seen a lot of these guys mock to Portland. Obviously, they're around this range. Colin Murray Boyles, Igor Demon, Carter Bryant. I've even seen Rasheer Fleming and then Asa Newell. I've also seen Jace Richardson. I would go if I'm gonna list off my choices in this order. Murray Boyles one, Newell two, no, Carter Bryant two, Newell three, Richardson four, Demon five. I'm not a fan of Demon. I understand why people are a fan of him. He's a big shooting guard who showed the flashes of an elite shooter at the next level. He was not consistent at shooting is the problem. He shot, I want to say around third, I can probably check it, but he shot in the 30% range. Is it anything here? No, there's nothing there. Um, Not a fantastic consistent shooter. Yes, I see the potential. I think though they want versatile guys. They want guys who can play multiple positions. I don't think Demon can do that. I think you go Colin Murray Boyles. I've been on this guy for a little while now. Probably the best defender in this draft class. Took a leap in scoring from year one to two at South Carolina. I think because Portland obviously Jumani Kamara, second team all defense, fantastic year. Should have been first team. Was fantastic. If you ever looked at the stats or watched him play, he's just everywhere. Adding Murray Boyles to a front court with him and and Donovan Clingan, it's a lockdown front court. That is what the Blazers have kind of been trying to build on, is what I've noticed over the past couple of years. Progressively over time, Chauncey Billups' team, they've gotten better at defense. I think you add Murray Boyles, he's a fantastic defender, can't really shoot the ball, not that versatile offensively. Doesn't feel like a it feels like an at most like 15 to like 10 a game type of guy, unless he can obviously improve on that three-point shooting. But the defense and just he's a 7'1", 6'10" maybe standing reach. It's something long. I don't know. I think you take Murray Boyles there. You add him with Chumani Kamara, Donovan Clingan, Denny Avdia. Think it's a fantastic front court going forward. All right, the Bulls stuck in purgatory of the lottery that is Jerry Reinsdorf's fault, and I think they take a swing on a guy like Carter Bryant. Another guy up there with the most potential in this class. You see the stats and they look like nothing. They look terrible. That's because he didn't play that many minutes on a good Arizona team. Uh, I think he should have been getting more. He showed flashes of everything. The athleticism is great. The shooting he showed. The just overall defensive ability. It's why I think Portland could take him. The versatility of a guy who can play two through four. I won't say one or five, but he can play shooting guard, small forward, or power forward, in my opinion. And the potential is so clearly there. It's just you haven't really seen it on paper. The Bulls, in my opinion, are in a place where they can take a swing on a guy like that. They've been rebuilding for what, like 8 years now. I mean, they're just you gotta hit on someone, and if you to hit, you need to take swings. And a guy like Carter Bryant is easily the biggest swing you can take at this position that is, and that could help your future going forward. The Bulls take him. The Hawks. Who do the Hawks take? That's a great question. I haven't really thought about this one that much. A lot of places they could go. Zachary Chaucher, he was good. Trey Young, also always in talks that he's going to get shipped out. I don't really think he will. But plenty of places you could go with this. I don't think Demon. I think Neat Clifford's an interesting one. That guy's been really shooting up draft boards. Danny Wolf. No, he wouldn't go that high. I'll go Rasheer. No, because you just draft. It's interesting. I feel like they need lots of things, but at the same time, I go Neat Clifford here. Um, yeah, overall, great player for Colorado State. Almost willed them past Maryland himself. Um, he basically also single-handedly beat that Memphis team. He played fantastic in those two games. Experienced guy for the Rams, obviously played for all 4 years. I don't know if all 4 years for Colorado. Don't quote me on that. I don't think he did actually. Um, but a great player. Put him alongside Reece Hasher. Put him alongside Trey Young. I think there's lots of scoring potential, lots of um, rebounding, lots of things you can do with him. He's a great versatile prospect. Lots of these guys are really versatile in my opinion. So you take Neat Clifford. Spurs, I think, once again, I think it's super possible that picks 2 and 14 are on the way to Milwaukee for Giannis. But hypothetically, the Spurs do stick with this pick. Lots of places you can go with it. They took Dylan Harper with the second pick. You don't really need a guard anymore. You do kind of need a forward, though. You have Stephon Castle, you have De'Aaron Fox, you have Wemby, you have obviously Dylan Harper now. Do you go Asa Newell? Do you go Rasheer Fleming? I think, or even an Igor Demon. I'll throw him in there too. I think you take Asa Newell, a guy who as I mentioned, I can see Portland drafting. Newell has incredibly high scoring output potential. He's not very physical inside, but he showed a lot of flashes of the ability to shoot the ball and really stretch the floor. Put him and Wemby, two long, skinny guys out there. Pause. No, that's not a pause. Um, that's a pretty dangerous front court going forward. Needs to put on a little muscle, as I mentioned. Not fantastic defending inside. So I think Portland could like him because, put him alongside Klingon. Klingon's massive. They're not going to go inside. But I think they take Klingon, or excuse me, Newell here. All right. Well, that is my draft class, as you can see right here. I'm taking a screenshot of this. Um, this is who I think will be drafted in this order. I think overall it's a good draft class. It's a great draft class, even. I'm excited for the draft. I think it's possible a lot of these teams trade out, so it's super possible none of this is correct except for like picks 1 and 1. I'll say pick 1 is the only guaranteed. All the rest super up in the air. But that is going to do it for this episode. I'm gonna get back into it. College football's coming up. I love college football. Gonna do SEC preview, Big Ten preview, Big 12 preview, ACC preview, all sorts of that stuff. I'll bring on some guests too. Should be fun. But until then, have a good one.